Hey guys, so today we're going to be completing the really popular interview question called FizzBuzz, and we're going to be completing it using TDD or test-driven development. So we're going to be writing our failing test first and making that pass and doing this recursively. So first of all, what is FizzBuzz? FizzBuzz, it's a really popular interview question. It's a function that takes a number as an argument and then returns that number. But if this number is a multiple of 3, we want to return fizz instead of the number. If it's a multiple of 5, we want to return buzz instead of the number. And if it's a multiple of both 3 and 5, we want to return FizzBuzz. So that's what FizzBuzz is. As you can see, we have the function here. At the minute, it's just returning null. And we're going to be completing this function, but we're going to be doing it in a test-driven development manner. So what is test-driven development? So we have this article here, and it's from Uncle Bob, who is a really popular guy in the world of software development, agile specifically. So we're going to look at these 3 laws. The first one is that you're not allowed to write any production code unless it's to make a failing unit test pass. We're not allowed to write any more of a unit test than is sufficient to make it fail. And we're not allowed to write any more production code than is sufficient to make one failing unit test pass. So we're going to be following these 3 rules. So as you can see, we have this describe function, and at the minute we have no tests. And if you want to reproduce this setup locally, it's just a node project, and we have 2 dev dependencies, chai and mocha, and we have a test script which is just running mocha. So at the minute, if we run npm test, we can see we have no tests, so 0 are passing. So now we're going to write our first test. So we're going to say it, okay, FizzBuzz returns 1. Takes a callback function, and we're going to say expect FizzBuzz 1.2.equal 1. So if we call FizzBuzz with the argument 1, we're expecting it to return 1. So if we run this test, we can see that it's failing. We expect it undefined to equal 1. So now, by the rules of TDD, we can write enough code to make this test pass. So FizzBuzz, which takes an argument, we're just going to return the argument. So if we run the test again, we can see that it's passing. So now let's just write another test. We'll just copy and paste this. And this test is just going to be expect FizzBuzz 2 to equal 2. So now we know that this works for more than just one case. So I think we have this first thing covered. So now we can look at the next one. For multiples of 3, return fizz instead of the number. So now we're going to write a test to check for this. So for multiples of 3, we want to return fizz instead of the number. FizzBuzz returns fizz for multiples of 3. Returns. We just make this a bit smaller so you guys can see. Cool. So expect FizzBuzz 3.2 equal fizz. So this is our unit test. We're saying if we're calling FizzBuzz with 3, it should equal 3. It should equal fizz, sorry. So if we run this test, we can see that our first 2 tests passed, but our third one is failing, as we expected. And it's saying expected 3 to equal fizz. So now we need to try to make this one test pass and just write enough code to make this one test pass. So to do this, we could actually say if num equals 3, return fizz. And if we save that and run the test again, we can see that now it passes. So we've just wrote enough code to make that pass. But I guess this is for multiples of 3, so we should probably write another test, but instead pass in 6. We'll just set this for 3 for this. This is for multiples of 3. So we're expecting, if we call it with 6, it should return fizz as well. But if we run it at the minute, it's obviously not going to do that. So now we're going to make this failing test pass by doing if num modulus 3 equals 0, return fizz. And if we run this test, we can see that that works. And now that our test is passing, I'm just going to do some refactoring. So I'm going to bring this all to the same line just because it's a lot more readable. So if we save that, we can run our test again, make sure it still passes, and it does. And now we can look at the next criteria. So for multiples of 5, we should be returning buzz instead of the number. So let's do the same as we did before. Except instead of 3, it's going to be 5. So we're going to return buzz for 5. Buzz, and this should be 5. And now if we run our test, we can see that expected 5 to equal buzz. And now we're going to say if num equals 5, return buzz. If we run the test again, we can see now it's passing, which is exactly what we want. And now let's go and write another failing test. And we're just going to copy this one this time. And we're saying, so it's going to return buzz for multiples of 5. So if we pass in 10, we should be getting buzz back. If we run this test, we can see that it's failing, expected 10 to equal buzz. So now we're going to do similar to down here, except if num modulus 5 equals 0, return buzz. So let's run this, and now we can see that all our tests are passing. So we've carried out for all this criteria, and we just have one left. So this is really nice. TDD has made this process really easy for us, and we've been able to clarify that everything works so far. So now for the last criteria, for multiples of 3 and 5, return FizzBuzz. So we can actually write a test for that. So we're going to say, okay, return FizzBuzz for multiples of 3 and 5. So we want to return FizzBuzz for multiples of 3 and 5. So a multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. So expect that to be FizzBuzz. So expect 15 to equal FizzBuzz. So if we run that test, we can see it's failing, and it's actually returning buzz instead of FizzBuzz, because it's coming inside this if, and it's saying if num modulus 5 equals 0, return buzz, and 15 modulus 5 is equal 0, so we're returning buzz. But we want to put something before this to say if num modulus 5 and num modulus 3, we want to return FizzBuzz. If we save that and run again, we can see it's still failing because I forgot to put in the equals. Bring this to a new line and run our test again, and we can see that now it's passing. So that's really nice. But now all these ifs have made this a bit unreadable, so we want to do some refactoring to make it more readable. And the advantage of having all these tests now is that we can refactor this, and we'll know if it still is satisfying all these conditions. So let's do some refactoring. So one possible solution I can think of is at the start of the function having a string, and we can just return that string at the end of the function, and we can append these strings onto that string if it satisfies those conditions. So that means we can get rid of this top if, and we can replace it instead with let string equals just empty. And now here we can say that if it's a multiple of 5, we want to append buzz onto this. So we can say string plus equal buzz. And we can do the same down here. String plus equal fizz. And at the end, we want to return the string. So if we save that and run, we can see that now we have 3 tests failing. So as you can see, we're actually just returning this empty string, which isn't good. And this is also the wrong way around. So it's returning buzz fizz instead of fizz buzz. So we can fix that one first by just changing the order of these. And run the test again. Now you can see we just have these empty string issues. So we're not returning the number anymore. Instead, we're just returning this empty string, which isn't good. So to fix this, we could say return. We can use a ternary operator. So if string.length, we want to return the string, else return the number. So if we run this again, we can see that now all of our tests pass, and that's really nice. And the changes we made there are just a matter of preference. You might have preferred the other way, but this was just to prove a point that we can now refactor this function, and we have the confidence to refactor because we have these tests which cover all of our cases. And this is what unit tests are all about. It gives you confidence to refactor your code and reduces the chance for regression bugs. So this has been unit testing in JavaScript with the FizzBuzz interview question. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.